Alrighty guys, today's video is going to be about First Order. First Order, and what to consider while you're investing into these guys, because with the addition of General Hux and Sith Trooper coming here soon, I think these guys are a faction you guys should be considering. Outside of like the Clone Wars for the GR, Padme, and of course General Skywalker and the clones, this should be the next faction to look into. Until we get more, stuff and hints towards hints towards resistance, I would still go full on board with the First Order, and let me tell you why. Come over to ships. With First Order, you're going to have most likely two new ships, one of which is going to be a capital ship, commanded by General Hux, and I would put my money on the next one being Sith Trooper with his own ship. Because I think what they're trying to do here before a ship raid is to, guess what? Yep, you got it right, introduce more ships, and especially First Order. Out of these ones, like I said, I did this in previous video, the only tough one really to farm is this command shuttle. Everything else is easy. This one's on a this one's actually probably the easiest one, actually. This one's on Cantina. You get both him and his ship all in one go. And then for FOTP, I think he's actually on a ship, the ship store stuff there. I'm pretty sure that's why I got him. But this guy is easy as well. This isn't. It alternates with him and his ship in the guild store. So every single refresh you'll do, you'll be certain to find either him or his ship blueprint in there. So very easy there. And that's why I would really recommend getting these guys up. If you guys don't have the Special Forces guy farmed up, farm him right now with all your guild store currency. And same with his ship. FOTP and I would say Kylo Ren are going to be a little bit tougher. Tice Downster is going to be stupid easy. And if I were to guess how they're going to incorporate a new capital ship, it would probably be either, I don't think it being a marquee, because these are capital ships. You want to see a capital ship? Well, here you go. We have around 5 of them, right? The worst one right now being Mace, which is unfortunate, but that's what it is. Hopefully it changes with this upcoming TV show, or TV Season 7 of the Clone Wars. But pretty much, you think of all these ones, I think, let's just go over where you can find this one. I think, yeah, let me refresh my noggin here. Yeah, the Endurance, Home One, and Executrix, we're all farmable through that one special event that you have to do like every, few times a month, I think, or maybe it's like every month or so. But here are the legendary one. This is the only actual legendary capital ship that I know of, which is the Chimera. And then you get GK, and then also this month you'll actually be able to get the Malevolence. So by the end of this month, or by the end of this year rather, I would say there's going to be 7 capital ships with Malevolence and now General Hux. And man, I shouldn't be doing videos after I work out because I just can't talk for some reason. Holy cow. But yeah. Do you guys think though that General Hux is a Thrawn type of character to get a legendary event for his capital ship? I don't know. It would be cool. Maybe like requiring some First Order or maybe some resistance ships, but I would probably doubt that because there's only 3 resistance ships so far in the game. So if really any reason they would go about it, I would say it's going to go about a similar way of how Endurance, Home One, or Executrix came out. So that's their ships. So that's pretty much the main reason I would say to farm these guys. The second reason is that I think once you get some of these guys with relics on the First Order, and you get them gear 12 with some Zetas, these guys kind of turn from a C tier team into a B tier team. And if you want to go my route, I like to toss in Wat Tambor as a 5th, and that team can take out Night Sisters and a lot of different higher tier teams. And I wouldn't say with Wat it turns them into an A tier team, although Wat can do that to a lot of different people. I would still say these guys are like, at best, probably like a B+, maybe stretch it to an A-. But if you guys were to consider anybody to work on here, out of how many we got? We got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. If I can count correctly. Out of these 8, who you should be focusing on? Well, in my opinion, there's really only 3, maybe 4. I'm going to say 4 here. So the first one is, of course, Crew. Right here, he's a stupid easy character to farm, especially with his ship being on that same node. His leadership is the best leadership for the First Order right now. That could change, though, with this next movie. We don't know. And especially with General Hux coming, he could definitely be like a Thrawn type of leadership and be pretty decent and pretty good. But it's going to be really hard to top this. You get extra speed, crit damage, and you get TM gain, and you can recover HP protection in this leadership. And I don't think that's going to be easy to top. So I would still put my money on this guy being needed in some sort of first order down the line. Besides that, I would say this guy down here, Executioner, is a must-have in my opinion. This guy is extremely versatile in the First Order faction. He's like the CLS to this team because every single time he crits anybody, he's going to give First Order allies 10% TM, and on top of that, whenever he does, let's see here, when he scores a critical hit, he gains 10% max HP stacking until the end of the encounter. And it says he gains bonus offense equal to 5% of his max HP. So yeah, this guy is probably the biggest damage dealer in this entire team. FOTP is kind of close, but not very, because with Executioner you can stack up his HP and offense. So those are the main two, I would say. Number 3 and 4 are kind of a far-fetched type of thing here, because these guys with these two new guys we're gonna be getting with General Hux and Sith Trooper, these two guys, in my opinion, could either get a small tune-up or they could really synergize well with these new characters. One of which is Phasma, guys. As much as I hate to say that, and on top of this, I'm saying this because I love Phasma, but guys, this ability getting as simple and simplistic as this is so powerful, guys. Such a huge special right there. And we'll get on to the next one after this. Oh, the other one I think is really important here. But I know Phasma is already dead in the movies, but I can definitely see them, touching her up somewhat, in some way, shape, or form. I know she didn't have an extremely huge role in the movies, but the entire First Order faction is based around TM, and if you can throw in General Hux with even more TM, you toss in Crew Lead with his TM on crits, you toss in Executioner, and you toss in Phasma, and if you want, even toss in Officer. There is so much TM to be going around that you can infinitely loop their TM, and they can go an infinite amount of times. And that's why I think Phasma is going to be so important here. Her gear is kind of annoying, kind of not. She is extremely easy to farm. Everything is in Galactic War. Is she worth it? Right now, probably not, but it's an interesting one to look into for down the line. Next one, and I think the last one I want to talk about, is Officer. Yeah, you heard me right. There is no talk about these other guys here. There is no talk about FOTP, Special Forces, or Stormtrooper, and even OG Kylo. Those guys, in my opinion, they're okay. I don't think they're amazing, and especially OG Kylo. He's just so outdated. His Zeta is not good at all, and I'm not a fan of it really at all. I just don't know. I don't like that guy at all. Maybe you guys would say otherwise to me. But here we go. The last one I think is going to be really important here is somebody that looks like he could be, just General Hux reskinned almost, because they kind of look the same. But yeah, this guy, First Order Officer, I mean, yeah, you get so much TM here, guys. On his second special, whenever he removes TM, he gives each ally 15% TM. That's pretty big, and on top of that, this is why I think he's probably the most important one out of anybody when you're talking about support here, besides Phasma, is that he can reduce all First Order allies cooldowns by 1. And this is on a special, or this is a cooldown of 3, so with all the TM gain, when you're including Phasma in here, you can cycle these guys' turns so extremely fast to the point where everybody's cooldowns will be reduced, and you're going to be able to spam TM, big hits, and stuff like that. So I think this guy is a huge one, I think, to look into. On top of that, his first special can give a target ally 100% TM advantage, and if they are First Order, they get offense up for 3 turns. It dispels all debuffs on them dispels all debuffs from him and target, and they both get tenacity. So you're getting with the First Order team, you're getting both of them having tenacity, and then the person who gives the TM to is going to have advantage in offense with full TM. A huge thing, especially with Phasma, because if she does her AoE right after her victory march with her full TM or her 50% TM, she can cycle right back to her victory march again with more TM. It's just so strong. His basics are okay, nothing crazy, but yeah, this guy's like your TM train almost. He starts it off, and then everybody else kind of adds to it. These other guys, Stormtrooper, he's okay. He's not crazy. This is outdated, very outdated, I'd say. Counter chance is cool and all. The tankiness to him is not great. I don't think it's a great tank. You can give it more TM, but I think Sith Trooper is going to destroy him and how useful he is. So he's going to be probably, in my opinion, kind of outdated. And then FOTP is yet again another outdated character. He deals some good damage, but not enough to the point to make me go crazy. And last but not least is Kylo. Oh, not last but not least. Let's go over him first. Stormtrooper, or Special Forces TIE Pilot. He has a stun. He has some extra advantage gains. And he has an AoE that gives speed up and can hit everybody and give defense down. His basic, nothing crazy here that screams like he's going to be amazing here soon. I don't see it. I like his ship a lot more than the actual character. And OG Kylo, yet again, I don't like. Yeah, he gets up TM to everybody if they have advantage, and if they don't have advantage, if they're first order. But I just don't see a huge impact that he can be giving out to the team in the next little bit. Maybe what they're going to do here with this first order faction is to introduce like a General Hux to be either new leadership or something to the extent of like a Imperial Troopers, where he commands, let's say, like a first order stormtrooper, first order TIE pilot, special forces, even officer, and then you have a crew with some of these other guys, like maybe even OG Kylo, that and maybe you get some more like a Sith Trooper, and then even more from the movie that can make a really strong first order team. And that's what I'm kind of thinking of here, guys. I think that's going to be kind of a thing here and a theme of what they're trying to shoot for, but a huge emphasis on ships here. This whole video is centered around first order, I'd say. And these are my kind of picks. Number one is crew. Number two is execution. Number three, it was Phasma. Let's say it's officer, because I think he's going to be a little bit more useful than Phasma. And then four is Phasma. She's kind of an oddball here. Everybody else kind of goes in order as you can see here. Then it would be Kylo Ren, Stormtrooper, FOTP, and then Special Forces. I don't see a whole use and whole lot of uses after these guys, after these new First Order are released. That's just how I think of it, guys. But I appreciate you guys watching all the way to the end. If you guys enjoyed this video, give it a like, share it around, and if you are new here, feel free to sub. Muchly appreciated, guys. And I thought this was a really great video to do around this next movie content. I'm kind of done with chatting about Galactic Republic, because I feel like we've already gotten most of it. Unless there's like more to be added here in a little bit. But First Order is the main premise of this video. Hopefully, guys, you enjoyed it, and I will talk to you later.